I think many, if maybe not most people who start the Camino have done it after watching many hours of YouTube videos of other people's journeys. And by the way, thank you for stopping by for my modest production. One of the most consistent themes of those videos is the pain and agony those bloggers suffered. I think I know a way of preventing that.
Day 3, and already I'm feeling the daily rhythm sink into my bones. Leave the hotel. Find the nearest Camino marker. Walk. Make that walk for hours. Already, my body has accepted the many kilometers it has to push through for the day. There's no resistance, no resentment. It's the joy of walking in its purest form. I will admit I'm not thrilled with the route joining an asphalt road today, as it does so often thus far. But even then, there are those minor thrills to distract the little boy in me. Yeah, that was fun. I can even indulge a certain juvenile inquisitiveness that I might have lost over the years.
I was curious, so I looked it up, and those 100-meter tall chimneys back there look like a nuclear plant, but the electricity generated here was with fuel oil and natural gas. I say was because the plant was deactivated in 2010 after 50 years of service. I also bring this up because it's keeping with the vibe of this section. Not exactly a rural stroll.
Just to punctuate that point, the modern Camino route has been configured to find ways up and over several railroad crossings. I suspect there might be more pilgrim carnage otherwise. As for the walk, it at least veers off the main road and enters a pleasant neighborhood called Apacentu, and then leaves the middle-class homes for a more rural cobblestone track, which then turns to fresh asphalt. I can't imagine that I'm saying this, but I prefer the smooth pavement. It's much easier on the feet.
This less than busy farm track lasts for about 6 kilometers. Now, as pleasant as this is, the only caveat is there are no services for 6 kilometers until we get to our destination at Azumbuja.
Then, just as we're getting used to the quiet lane, it abruptly swerves over to the N3 highway for a moment, long enough for the truck traffic to spook me. Somehow I'm developing a visceral reaction to walking along busy roads. It feels as though I'm about to be crushed. I truly hate that sense of insecurity. Fortunately, we quickly enter the far more sedate Vila Nova de Reina, where we find a cafe not listed on our map. It's a safe refuge for 20 minutes. We leave there on deserted sidewalks and try to imagine this going on for a while. Nope. Back to a quick crossing of the N3 again, and then another bridge over the rail line. If I spoke Portuguese, I might ask the passengers what life is like here. Happily, after that, we return to a back road almost guaranteed not to have cars on it. Okay, I can't always expect silence out here. And even that little boy is getting tired of the sonic interruptions. Walking the Camino does have its compromises. Finally, we walk into our destination for the night. Clearly, this is going to be a happening place.
Azumbuja has its own running of the bulls in late May, just 2 days from now. The town of 7,000 has its own twist on the tradition where pastores, that is, herders, guide the bulls through the town with ropes.
This is definitely a town about to explode. I'm kind of sad missing it. Instead, we have our mild steak dinner at a sidewalk table and get ready for bed. After all, we're waking the next morning at 5 o'clock.
You know, for months before we started this Camino, we were conditioning to get it ready for it, going to the gym, lots of hiking. You know, I know there's this naive notion that all you have to do is start walking the Camino and you'll get into shape eventually. I think that's utter nonsense. If you look at the videos that people have posted, they've absolutely had the hardest time. The Camino just destroyed them. Sore feet, stiff joints, debilitating fatigue. I've been a little tired from the heat mostly and a lot of miles, but it hasn't been a sufferfest for me. This has actually been pretty nice so far. I really enjoy it. And I think it's all because we did all this conditioning ahead of time.